Hey nerds, welcome to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Theories and Conspiracies. I'm Brian from Good Nerd Bad Nerd. So this was it. This was the mid-season finale. This was the final revelation of what exactly was happening on that planet, a planet we're calling Maveth. I don't think that's actually the name, that's just what Hydra has taken to calling it. But a lot happened. This isn't a recap of the episode, you can get that anywhere. So we're really just talking about three big things. The planet itself, because we got some more information on that. Will, and then our big alien creature, whatever it is. So, first the planet, Maveth. We didn't get too much information. What we did get was that there were these cities, and the civilization that was on the planet, they basically destroyed themselves in civil war. That isn't much information to go on when looking through all of the planets in the entire Marvel cinematic history, or even the comics, or anything like that. But there's one planet that does stick out to me that I think is a good possibility. And that's the planet Prosilicus. This planet is important in the grander scheme of the Marvel Universe because when the Watchers first got out into the universe and were trying to be noble and share their technology to better other civilizations, this is the first planet they went to. And they gave them technology, specifically nuclear technology, in order to help with science and their economy and health and all this other stuff. Now, as soon as the Watchers leave the planet, the civilization basically takes that technology and uses it for war, and they destroy their planet. In the comics, all but a few people are wiped out. So there's a really good parallel here between what we see on the planet and what was told to us versus what happens in this comic. Now, this is also the event that triggers the Watchers to have this kind of policy of non-intervention. So there's a lot of parallels here, and I think it's a good fit. Again, we don't get too much information, and based on what happens on the episode, I don't think we're going to get too much more information about this planet. I think it's just going to be this mystery planet that they were on. But that takes us now to Will. There was speculation leading up to this point. Was he real? Was he the monster or the alien the entire time? Was he a figment of Simmons' imagination? Well, Will was real, and he definitely did help Simmons stay alive for that entire time. They did have a close relationship. But the confusion and that mystery of what happened after Simmons went through the portal is finally answered. Will was shooting at the alien, and he lost. So the creature, the alien, killed Will and then took over his body. That is where it was left, and we get that confirmation when Fitz is trying to take a look at his leg, and we're getting the story of the planet where Will knows way too much and then finally admits, well, I know all this because I was here. And then he gives Fitz a quick kick to the face and he's rolling down the hill. Now, mind you, at that point, I can't help but think Fitz is like a little relieved that Will is out of the picture. A little sad for Gemma, but at the same time, it's like, okay, this guy's out of the picture. But that takes us to who this creature could be. I've been speculating a lot about a lot of different cosmic creatures and like the Space Phantom and the Dire Wraiths and things like that. But after this episode, it seems to me that this is another case where they're taking a creature straight from the Secret Warriors comic. In Secret Warriors #2, we're introduced to a character called the Hive. And the Hive was created in Hydra Laboratories at their main base in Guyana, New Zealand. And it was an experiment made to essentially create the physical embodiment of the Hydra ideal. Now, if that doesn't, just scream to this creature that is worshipped as the Hydra ideal, I don't know what is. But when it was first made, it was this parasite, and an unsuspecting Hydra agent was offered up as a host. And it was kind of a sacrifice, and it was fed to this parasite, and that's what allowed the Hive to take physical form as this tentacle-faced creature. Now, interestingly enough, we see a lot of the same abilities in the Hive that we do with this creature. When Hydra decided to go to war with Leviathan, They were betrayed by one of their High Council members. This was the Contessa Valentina, who at one point I had speculated was who Rosalind was. But she betrayed Hydra and went back over and switched teams to Leviathan. And in doing so, she shot Viper in the head. Well, the Hive came in and used his parasites to essentially resurrect Madame Viper. And kind of we see something very similar to what happens with Ward and Will, where the Hive kind of takes over. Now, we don't know how much in the comics of the Hive is in control, or if the Hive is just essentially reanimating a corpse and the corpse is still alive, but it's very similar, and it's a very nice parallel between what we see in the show and what we see in this character. Now, powers for this for the Hive. The Hive in the comics can shoot out individual parasites like projectile weapons, and if they do happen to hit or make contact, the Hive can take over those people. So it's got this kind of possession ability. The Hive can breathe in water and on land. He speaks a secret Hydra language that only other Hydra agents know. And he generally has a greater than normal human physical strength. Now, he doesn't really have any other powers unless he is possessing the body of someone who already has powers, which is interesting because Hydra was amassing an army of Inhumans. So this would have been, he could have taken his pick of which powers he wanted. He could have picked Andrew, or he could have picked any of the other Inhumans to be his new host, and he would have had those abilities. So it's a really strong parallel, and a lot of people on the internet really like this idea. It seems to be the most plausible, and considering so much of what they're doing in the show comes directly from the Secret Warriors comic, it just makes a lot of sense. What do you guys think? What did you think of the episode? Did you think it was fun? I loved the humor in it. Mac was dropping lines all over the place. Hunter, for his kind of simple ways, is awesome. With when they were trying to figure out who they were, and he just starts waving his hands. I did really want to see Mockingbird's fight one way or another, either actually the fight with the 12 Hydra guards, or just on the little computer where we just see one red character beating up everyone else. But for a mid-season finale, I really enjoyed it. But for more on that, tune into the after show on Stream TV, because we'll be talking about this with Stephanie Tate, Steve Tenney, some usual people of mine. There's a lot to talk about, so make sure to tune in there. But let me know what you thought. Let me know what you think about the planet, about Will, and if you think the Hive is a possibility for what is now in Grant Ward. So it's going to be a while. We have Agent Carter filling in for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, but until it comes back, this has been Brian from Good Nerd, Bad Nerd, and this has been Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Theories and Conspiracies.